Good morning, YouTube. Today is Friday, April 19th. Anthony, the market is moving and we got to move with it, baby. How are you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good.
Oh, we are good. I'm a couple cups of coffee in. I'm a little bit more jittery than normally today, so I'll try to keep it cool, calm, and collected. I keep hearing rumors our third compadre is going to make a guest appearance. And I thought today might be the day, but hopefully Tuesday he's back.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
He might have to change a diaper in the middle of the show.
Yep.
But
Yep.
Yeah.
I think good news. I think he's figured out which side is up and which side is down. So it's been a very successful week for Mr. Burko. But again, we hope to have him back Tuesday, which he's still spending time with the newborn. But really, Anth, today is all about a changing market. I think it's come to our area. Some sellers are starting to kind of change the way how they maybe offer commission to a buyer's agent. But there are so many options for buyer's agents out there to get paid through different ways of the mortgage or how you structure your offer that have not been here since COVID. We are literally 4 years from COVID, 2020. And for 4 years, this has been a conventional loan only market and no seller assistance. Well, Anth, we got 4 different loan types. We got plenty of different seller assistance options. We got closing cost assistance options. So there's plenty of options. We just have to get used to using them. I don't think a listing agent is going to get 10 offers with highest and best, just conventional loans anymore. I think it's going to change.
Yeah.
And we're here to help along and make the change with everyone.
Yeah. I think, the market's changing. So you got to change as well. With change brings opportunity. So it's just, working very closely with your loan officer to make sure that they're guiding the client in options and working directly with you. If there is a spot where the client has to pay the commission or a portion of the commission, like you said, there are many ways that we can do that. Seller's assist, lender credits, building into the rate. There's so many things that we can do in a combination that can actually help that. And even during COVID, to get your offer accepted, one of the options was, hey, pay your side of the commission. So some of this stuff isn't 100% new, because during that time we were exploring those options, paying both sides of the transfer and all that stuff. So yeah. It's there. It's just a matter of showing the affordability to the client and how they can do it.
But now that might be on the flip side, right? If you're a buyer's agent, I feel like you first have to figure out what is your commission amount? What do you have and what do you get paid? And then from there, you got to figure out, okay, if the buyer needs to pick up some, how much is that? How much am I picking up? Because the seller may be paying 0.5%, 0.25%, 1%, right? It's up to the seller. And then from there, okay, if the seller's not going to pay it straight up, let's ask for seller assistance. Let's ask for them to pay both of the transfer taxes. Let's go in with a USDA loan instead of a conventional loan that has a different down payment, or let's go in with an FHA loan where you can get 6% seller assistance instead of 3%. There's all kinds of different options. It doesn't have to just be straight conventional, highest and best, go from there. I just think seller assistance is going to become, it was always common in our area. It just started to come a little uncommon with the market because it was such a strong seller's market. But the light isn't going to switch overnight and every buyer is going to magically be able to pay more money at closing. So you just have to keep it going. You have to keep it rolling, and you can't be afraid to put in an offer. If you have a buyer that has a certain scenario and their certain scenario requires that they need seller assistance, put the offer in and see. Some of these houses are sitting. Some of these houses are just waiting for an offer. Other houses, of course, it's still crazy market where you're having the multiple offers, you're going over asking, and that's the same markets it's been now for 4 or 5 years where some cases, not all buyers can get into that home. There may be a home that is just, you know what, it's going to go over asking. The seller's not paying any commission. They're not going to accept any seller assistance. This one isn't for you. And that's just the case. But we don't want buyer's agents out there showing buyers houses they're not going to be able to qualify for. And that's the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I mean, if anything, I know people would wait until the last minute to get pre-approved and review the numbers. I mean, it's going to be more important than ever that the buyer starts that process sooner than later, so they can actually review those numbers, go through the pre-approval, make sure all those line items are going to be within their budget. And if not, can we make it work? I think it's going to be very important.
And for agents, now it's going to be very important that in that original estimate that the numbers are accurate. If the buyer has to pay some part of commission, or we're asking for seller assistance to offset it, that is done correctly, because you don't want a buyer having thousands of dollars of a difference at closing and they weren't expecting those costs. We can get buyers their accurate costs. We will need the accurate information from the agent, and it might change house to house. This house may need seller assistance. This other house may not need seller assistance because two different sellers may be offering two different things. It's just going to be way more down to the nitty gritty of negotiating. But there's more options to negotiate now. Now it's a little bit more fun if you're that real estate agent that likes to negotiate. Beat that listing agent. Put something in that contract maybe they didn't even realize was allowed, and you just got them with a zinger because they didn't know their contract as well as you did. I don't know, but I'm not going to go hide under a rock because changes are coming. I want to be out there in the forefront figuring out the changes and how we can help our realtor partners through a changing market.
Yeah. It's so important that your team that you're working with is on the same page, because not every lender is going to do the same thing we do. We're not going to do the same thing another lender might do. You got to make sure the team you're working with and the loan officer you're working with is able to provide those options.
And up to this point, I don't know about you, but myself, I have not heard of the financing world changing their rules, their regulations, their laws for commission at all yet. So if you're a real estate agent, you're just sitting there thinking, oh, well, they'll just finance this, or there is seller assistance only. That's really the only way you're going to finance anything, is asking for seller assistance. So those haven't changed. I haven't heard that amounts are going to change for the max seller assistance. So that is not in our purview at all at this point, unless you've heard something different.
No. I mean, the guidelines for the government still haven't changed. I mean, they're not going to add on to the current loan amount, when it comes to financing those commissions. I mean, we still have to verify, minimum down payment qualifications and all that. And we have to verify if they are paying the commission. We will have to verify that they have the additional assets, to be able to come to closing with. So I don't think they're going to change the whole scheme of how, a lender has to lend per government guidelines and requirements, but, there are options.
And again, we got our great closing cost assistance program, 5% of the purchase price for not just first-time home buyer. You can be a second home buyer as well, as long as you qualify. Of course, there's those regulations and guidelines we have to meet. But again, 5%, that's a whole lot to cover any extra cost that might come up in this changing market. So boom, right there, that's an easy one. Plus any seller assistance you can get on top of it. We can save buyers more than ever. Again, hopefully this opens up the market where we're not just a conventional loan market, and this can springboard all the other mortgage options that have kind of sat on the sideline the last 4 or 5 years just because it's been such low inventory in such a seller's market. But we're here to help. If you need anything over the weekend, give us a call. But please don't be going back to the office and need a pre-approval ASAP. We can do it. It's not the best way to do business. We prefer to get that pre-approval done today. That way you know, if you happen to be at the beach with your dog for the first time over the weekend, you're not getting blown up and having to do a pre-approval in the sand. That's all I got.
Sounds like a plan. Let's make it happen, man.
See you Tuesday.
See you, Rob.
Later.